This is the best question because I know every one of you has done this. All right, we're supposed to raise the seat.
No, we're not. They should lift the seat for
All
us.
right, either way. We're not supposed to piss when the seat's down, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How many of you piss when the seat's down and just wipe it up when you're done?
So every guy does that.
Let me tell you what I like. I do it every single time.
And why did you say this is more expensive now?
Because the Yellowstone, man.
Yellowstone, what?
The show, man. Like, they were drinking that on there, so that it's about doubled price, man.
Why? It's the same whiskey? Like, it's not better?
Yeah, no, it's just Bullet.
I mean, it's not bad whiskey, but...
No, I like it.
So, was it Rip that drank that? Is that what?
It was the old man. It was John Doe.
Oh, John Doe.
What is that? Who's Rip?
Rip is the I guess the muscle.
The foreman of the ranch or whatever.
Oh, God, I'm on the Man Show, and I've never even watched Yellowstone.
You've never watched it, dude.
No.
You need to be off the Man Show.
So
you're kicking me off the Man Show?
So I actually bought both of the Yellowstone colognes thinking that they would be one of them is the Rip. Like it's named for him, and thinking that they would be very masculine smelling.
Yeah, not so much.
Not so much.
I gotta imagine it would smell like hay and BO.
No, it had juniper and sage. I don't know. It was weird.
So was Yellowstone that big? Tony Gump, did you watch Yellowstone?
I've seen little parts of it, but I don't get to watch too much TV like that.
Was it that good?
Oh, it's a great show.
No, it's a whole series is really cool, man. There's a lot of I don't know. It's like it's like cowboy gangsters, pretty much.
A lot of killing, a lot of drinking.
Yeah, it's wild.
I stopped watching series a while back. I did the Walking Dead thing. I did Breaking Bad
for me.
Yeah, then once it got so far in, it wasn't good anymore. But at some point, I just stopped watching series. I'm like strictly documentary now. That's what I'm watching.
Hey, have you seen the Nickelback documentary?
Yes, I have, actually.
Amazing documentary.
It's pretty good.
So good. Loved it.
And it actually makes you feel guilty because we've all said bad things either in our head or out loud about Nickelback.
Not this guy.
Look, Big John says he's not.
Big John loves him.
I've loved Nickelback from day one.
But surely you said to yourself at one point,
nope,
man, they're really wearing this out on the radio. And I'm talking 10, 15 years ago. I mean, there was probably a day where you're like, okay, this is the third Nickelback song this hour.
Maybe overplaying them. Maybe that.
Yeah. Well, that was the only bad thing about them, and it wasn't their fault.
But when you realize after you watch that documentary, because even people that hated them thought they hated them under the assumption that they were created for mainstream radio,
like a boy band or something.
Right. And then when you start to realize that no, this is just a band that the lead singer knew how to grind, knew how to write music, knew what was catchy. I mean,
dude, Chad wrote some catchy stuff.
They had 3 #1 hits at the same time, and that's why they were getting so much airplay.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't. I think back then, none of us really broke that down and thought about it and said that's why they're getting so much play. We just thought, they're shoving this down our throat.
We didn't really think much back then.
No, not really.
I did. I've always been a thinker. What are you doing?
You lie. You lie.
Yeah, Nickelback's good. I like Nickelback. What's another band that was overplayed back then?
Creed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
That's the next one.
And now all of a sudden,
like,
y'all notice Creed's like the next big thing. All of a sudden, like how...
Dude, butt rock is coming back. It's back,
Butt rock? Is that what it's called?
It's butt rock.
Okay, you have to explain that.
Well, that's what I hear the kids say, man. It's butt rock. You know,
butt rock.
It's just cheesy rock, right? So it's butt rock.
I thought it'd be like, rock for gay men or something. Butt rock. I don't know.
I'm thinking.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
I was about to say that kind of makes sense.
It could be.
It's the same thing. But you go like Nickelback. Creed was in Birmingham not too long ago, and those ticket prices, they were kind of high, and they sold out fast.
Astronomical, man.
And I'm like, you know, don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have gone, but I had to settle for Limp Bizkit.
I think
which
I
is
would
fine.
settle for Limp
I
Bizkit.
envy you on that, man.
Yeah.
I love Limp Bizkit.
I like
fun.
what Fred Durst is doing now. I think that is the funniest shit ever, that he's just coming out on stage and
Like a costume
and
or
just
whatever.
doing
It's
whatever
amazing.
he wants to because he's not trying to prove anything to anybody. I mean, you know, that to me, that guy will always go down in history for the Woodstock event.
No.
Where they
yeah.
tore
Where
the
they
place down.
tore the place down. Like, I don't think there has ever been another band that has incited a riot that big
with one song.
with one song.
Break stuff.
Yep.
Now,
It's,
interesting. My brother went to the Guns N' Roses concert at the Riverport Amphitheater whenever they had the riot. Whenever Axl jumped out.
Yep.
My brother still has his ticket stub from that concert.
Really?
How cool
Yeah.
is that?
That's cool. Now, Fred Durst at this Birmingham show came out dressed, I would say normal, like he didn't come out dressed as a cowboy or anything. Maybe like a dad on vacation in Hawaii or something like that. But one of the big controversies were, so there were 3 opening acts. It was one of it was some rapper that my kid P Diddy knew about. He was like over the moon about it. I didn't know who it was. Another one, and then Corey Feldman.
Yeah, dude.
Now let's break down Corey Feldman for a minute because
he doesn't deserve any talk, man.
listen.
Oh.
There was he's not talented musically, okay? And YouTube Corey Feldman live real quick, or Google.
He's brilliant though. Just y'all.
Or
Like,
YouTube.
Sorry.
No. Corey Feldman.
He is.
Fred Durst.
He's pushing
guitar.
into it.
And,
Oh yeah, the guitar solo.
And so he was
Did he
doing
do that
these
here in Birmingham?
Yes, and so
No.
he's been doing these guitar solos, and people were saying that they didn't think it was really him, and it was an awful. Yeah, do that first one. It's an awful solo. It's not even good, and people were speculating that this is not even him playing. Listen to this.
I guess we don't have to worry about copyright on this.
Mike, that sounds about like you playing a solo.
John, you can eat one.
Okay,
You're a great rhythm guitar.
So he was doing that, and I don't know why people were saying that he didn't, it wasn't him. So while they were in Birmingham, and I think that video's on YouTube too, he comes out while Corey Feldman's doing his set. Fred Durst comes out to put do that same search, just add Fred Durst into it.
Didn't he bring like a chair? Or
He
something?
comes out with a chair.
Nice.
And he says to the crowd, hey, everybody's speculating that Corey's not really playing the guitar. And I'm going to sit here and we're going to test it. And he was getting him to like start and stop. The top one. Go back one to the first video. I'm not trying to boss you around, Tony, I promise.
Quit bossing me
It sounds
around.
like he's bossing you around, Tony.
Dude, I hate rock feed.
Yeah, go a little further up. We're having to steal this dude's podcast. What is Rock Feed?
It's this just dude that I don't know. I hate watching it.
Here, we're going to, I think it was the second one played it right here. It's only a minute or two long.
Okay.
I think this is the one.
It almost looks like the setup at Oak Mountain. Okay, so yeah, there he is. Give us some volume on that one. And
This is so funny.
Okay. No tricks, no tracks, no nothing.
So that's how Fred was dressed?
yeah.
Nice.
Stop. Start again.
It's so bad.
My thought process in all of this was, who is questioning whether or not that's actually Corey Feldman?
Why would you want to claim something like that if it wasn't yours? Why would you want to claim that?
He went. We got our buddies that do the X5 podcast out
they
of
had him on.
Blount County.
Yeah.
They had him on, and they talked to him about it, and he said that that's part of his gimmick is that some of the stuff he's really bad at. And so he's got like one song called The Joke or something.
That's why I was telling you he's brilliant. He's leaning into this whole bad publicity thing.
Yeah. So he's just, going with it. And I'm like, is that really the smartest move? If you're going to be on tour?
I think so because listen, regardless of what you think, everybody is talking about him, good or bad. They're all talking about him.
You're not wrong. Look,
and
that's what we're doing.
His music is absolutely trash, and everybody is talking about him.
Come back here.
He's doing something right.
Now, give him credit. He did say it was the worst guitar solo ever.
Yeah, he admits it. He's not. He knows that he takes his music serious, but he's just not challenge. That good.
I can create the worst guitar solo ever.
Well, there was
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, we need to get that live on the show one day. There was another guy called No Face Nate, and maybe we can YouTube him too. This was bizarre. Bald guy, no band, nothing but a keyboard, and dude Nate No Face. I think it's Nate. So N8.
I can't keep up with all the
in
weird
the number
shit
8
that is going on nowadays.
N8 No Face. This right here.
Nate No Face. Yeah, and then put live behind it and see if you can find one of his live shows.
Just the things that are popular.
It's hard to explain. Do the fourth one because this looks like what we saw. And so he comes out. I don't know what to expect. I don't know anything about the guy.
Wait, is this at Birmingham also?
It looks like it, but I'm not sure. No, I don't think he was wearing that. It's somewhere else. What? And so he gets out there and he just screams. He starts hitting himself in the head with the microphone, and he's just wearing out a keyboard.
All right.
It was funny because, yeah, watch him.
Just doing the 4-second rule.
Loserville. So yeah, he's got a very unique sound, and it's kind of a little bit of singing, a little bit of screaming. You know, it's just, and he at one point during the show, he's like, I've been doing meth for 12 years, and everybody's like, yeah, and he's like, and I've been clean for 2 years, and everybody's like, oh yeah. It was like a whole thing.
Do you remember back in the day, we used to try to be good? Like, what a concept of actually trying to write good music that is structured correctly. And
I want to take a John moment and speak from the heart.
Oh God!
So here we go.
So you got these acts, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm gonna call them, acts. I'm not gonna call them talent bands or whatever. You've got these acts,
artists,
and acts.
Okay, acts.
They ain't. Yeah, man, you've got honest to God people out there trying to make something good, decent, and then you've got stuff like this that just slaps, as the kids say, or whatever. I don't understand it.
Slaps, good or bad?
Let me ask you a question.
Used to be bad.
Like. Am I that old guy now?
Yeah, I think so.
Does that make me that old guy? Because I don't understand this. Used to, it was about talent. It was about knowing your instrument. It was about creating something that resonated throughout the entire everything.
What I tell you, what caused me to stop and watch that guy was the fact that it was so different, and it wasn't necessarily like, oh, this guy's got good music. It's like, part of it was like, hey, this guy's a freak, and the other part is like, it was almost artistic in a way.
You couldn't stop watching it once you.
Yeah, it was like an artistic
kind of got hooked in
car wreck. You know?
I could see that.
It's like two Sherman-Williams trucks, like running into each other,
making a Picasso.
Yeah.
Now, to me, lately, the auto pitch correct and the tone stuff, and then they got the AI that can. I mean, I could literally write a whole band myself with AI.
That is the thing that is scaring the absolute shit out of me.
No. Yeah. So I'm hanging out with Edens the other day, right? And then Josh Hammett come over, and we were talking. Josh had this guy come up to him and was like, hey, man, listen to this song I created. And Josh listened to it. He's like, man, that's pretty good. He's like, yeah, man, I did this all with AI. I kind of told it what I wanted to do, and he's like, so none of this is you. Guy's like, no, man. I gave it the lyrics, but everything else AI created.
That was
he's
Brad,
like, man,
Brad that sent that, wasn't it?
Well, no, I mean this is something that Josh was telling me the other day.
Oh,
but the thing is, man, Josh was like, dude, you didn't create anything. Nope. At anything, you're a poet. If you wrote the lyrics, you're a poet.
You created the words that you typed into the AI.
Right.
Yeah, that was it.
But you're not an artist. But that's where we're going with it, man.
There's only going to be AI artists.
Well, they think that they're an artist because they wrote the program that made the thing, and it's that's not, to me, that's not artistry. That's mastery of a skill, but not necessarily an artist, so to speak.
Well, we had a listener. There's this story about John Berg getting super drunk in his younger days, and I mean, like probably in his 30s, and he ended up peeing in his closet and somehow got vomit in his back pocket. So somebody went with the AI. A listener took the AI stuff and made a country western song about vomit in my back pocket.
Nice.
And we played it on the show. I have no idea where it's at, or I'd play it for y'all. But it was actually really good.
Vomit in my pocket.
Vomit
so
in
the
my
AI
pocket.
stuff. It is good. It's amazing at what AI can do now. But all right, keep it short. I feel like a bit of a hack in doing the stuff I do. I don't play the drums. I make MIDI patterns for my drums. My bass, sometimes I'll play it. Sometimes I make MIDI patterns. Everything else is me. I feel almost like a fake doing that because I'm not actually playing the drums. I don't know how someone could create music like this and feel good about it, like actually go, yeah, I made this. No,
just a new generation of people.
Yeah, but see, I think that what you do is so much closer to actual
what was
the way it used to be.
Yeah. That I wouldn't even put that in the same category as some of this stuff because you are still creating things that are not necessarily there. You're not just taking a sound and going, I mean, I know some of the loops, I get it, but the majority of what you're doing is coming out of your head and you are creating that. No matter how you're creating it, that's what you're doing.
Well, and at this point, what we probably need to do, because we're going to have some people ask like where they can find Homeless Mike's music. I mean, at least like one person, probably all of you.
Everybody needs to find it.
She already knows where to find it.
As to where they can find Homeless Mike's music.
It's fun stuff.
YouTube, do we do MF? What's the new song?
So the new one.
Oh, that's a great one.
The new one is Up in Flames.
So MF, Up in Flames, yeah. You should be able to find it there.
And we will not get a copyright strike for this one, right?
Yeah. If we get a copyright strike, Homeless Mike is paying us reparations.
So I do want to say, before we get going on this one, this is the first song that I ever constructed completely. This is all you. I found a way to tap into an inner me and express myself in ways that I've wanted to. These lyrics are me. I've never wrote lyrics. I've created entire songs before, but I've never wrote lyrics and sang my own lyrics behind a melody that I created, and I did it with this one. This is not no top 10 material by no means, but it means a whole lot to me because this is my first creation that I set out into the world to go, hey, people, this is me.
Okay, let's not get all mushy. We're not playing the whole thing.
Yeah, no.
Be a man, damn it. Come on.
Be a man. This is the man show. What are you doing?
I am a man.
No, this is really good stuff, and I know he's proud of that. So let's sample some of this.
You got a long intro here. It's 48 seconds long on the intro.
Yeah, you can push it up to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we got.
I love that, by the way.
Little Linkin Park vibe for a second.
I feel like we need to hold hands right now.
No matter where I turn,
Where did you go?
the bridges they burn.
That was a moment.
I was like, who's going to let go first?
I find myself in. I wanted to break free.
You can kind of tell that studio has become therapy for you.
Absolutely.
This your home studio?
Yes, home.
There we go.
Oh, I heard the new backup stuff.
Great artwork.
I love it. Hey, it's AI.
Ironically. So if people want to find this, You can find it obviously on YouTube.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. I don't know what. It's all there. It's some of it's hard to find because it's just MF.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but just catchy.
It's on all of them.
Listen to that MFer.
We still don't know why he didn't do MMF.
Well, MMFF. But
what would that have been?
Mike Mother Franklin.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see.
We've called him that forever, and I'm like, you just do MF, and we've
been calling you an MF for a long time.
Mike motherfucking Franklin.
So if
I'm saying it.
Well, after this podcast gets released and your Spotify numbers go up by
millions,
10,000 listeners a month or a day.
You get half those royalties.
Yes, I expect a little bit of credit. I'm just saying.
Hey, I do want to say, so talking about this, so in my creation, I'm trying to understand new things, right? And I wanted to start making beats. So I made a beat one day, right? Just a 4-bar beat, and I started looping it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to rap to this, right?
Oh.
I'm like, oh, yeah. So I try to start coming up with something. I'm like, I can't do this. I tapped in to like an old song, right? And I redid Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah.
Dude, I put Ice Ice Baby behind a whole new beat. And man, it was, let me tell you, I've created a lot of stuff in the studio. I've played live with a lot of bands. That was the most fun I've ever had anything with music. It was just, I don't know, it was
well,
free.
let's sample that one too.
Just a tiny bit, because that is so much fun, man.
MF, Ice Ice Baby.
No,
Too Cold.
Too Cold.
Too
That's
Cold.
right.
When I heard that, I was like, because here's the funny thing, what people don't know about Mike over here is every single time we karaoke anywhere, he is going to do that song. And the funny thing about it is, the man does it flawless, no matter what state of mind he's in.
Yeah, just type in Too Cold MF.
It is committed to memory.
Yeah, he's a trooper. There's no doubt.
You can tell he's definitely a seasoned performer.
Sit up top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been doing it as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Probably since I was a kid.
Well, we were all kids.
How old are you
I'm
at this
still
point?
a kid.
43.
43, and you're doing Vanilla Ice. I got it.
Right?
That makes sense.
Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a fan tool. Light up a stage, wax his jump like a candle. Make your speakers say boom, I'm killing you.
And this is 100% a beat that you put together.
Yeah. Dude, the chorus is so catchy. Love that, man.
Yeah, I like how you switched
It's so good.
the hook up a little bit and didn't just go straight with what it was.
So the thought behind this was to show how simple it is to do this type of music. To create this beat, dude, it's 4 bars, and then you loop it. You drop a couple items out while you're still looping it. You bring those items back in. It is so easy to create.
You should really, the next time you do this, really go like a No Face Nate route. You know,
bro, I could walk to a little keyboard, hit a button, play my stuff, and then go out there and like hump the air and hit myself in the head.
I think No Face is the new Gigi Allen, if you ask me.
Yeah, but close.
I think that we need to get Andrew on something. It like either like a Hey Now something in the background, just something where he's actually on one of these songs.
You just get a sample. I'll just
get a sample of the Hey Now and try to figure out how to work that into something, because I guarantee you could turn that into like a backup chant or something.
Hey now, hey now, that would be good. Let's talk a little politics, because obviously
Bernie for the win.
Yeah, everybody's got an opinion. It's what I do for a living, but you guys
let me have some more of that.
Are not. You guys are not from politics world, but you keep up with politics, at least to an extent, and you've got your own opinions. And so I thought it would do well by the audience to ask somebody, because they hear my opinions all the time,
right?
Like
some
to see
average
what
Joes.
You guys think. So Big John, you look at November 5th coming up. It's Trump and Kamala, and we're all on the same page. Like, we understand Kamala's a disaster, but how do you view these last couple months leading up to the election, and what's on the line for you?
Well, I think there's a lot on the line for everybody. You and I just talked about this week. It's sad when I'm in a situation, I know you're in a situation, and you are too, I think, where we're probably at the top of our game making more money than we've ever made in our lives, and it just doesn't feel like that.
Right.
It still feels like you're having to watch where stuff's going and
where you were 5-6 years ago.
For me, I have a really altered opinion about politics in general, because I feel like that we as America should hold our politicians to a higher standard, and I think that we should not accept all of the bullshit rhetoric that they try to do towards each other, and we should ask more for the actual information of how they're going to fix what's going on. I don't give a shit about the name calling and the back and forth and all that. I think, and listen, it's almost like whoever's better at that nowadays is the one that's going to win. And I do think that Trump is good for the economy, okay? I think as far as America goes on an economic level, trade, all those things, I think absolutely yes. I do think there's some areas that he could work on, but as far as if you want it ran like a business, which is what I do want, because I want to make money,
right?
And I want to keep as much of that money as I possibly can, I think that's the guy you go with. But at the end of the day, I do think that if we would just stop accepting this bullshit that they feed to us about let's turn it into a circus, let's turn it into a show, and stop buying into that they would then go, okay, let's actually get down to business. Let's figure out what we're going to actually do, and let's present a plan. Because what I didn't hear during that debate was an actual plan. I heard a lot of catchphrases and words that, what do you call those, that just excite,
trigger words,
things like that. Like, what does she call her plan, her shared economic, whatever it was,
the plan,
whatever that. And I'm like, that's just a buzzword that you're saying, trying to get what is it, because you're not actually saying anything.
I'll say there's never been a candidate that has not stated their policy stances like Kamala Harris ever in the past. And there's been people that have been really bad at it, but she has this uncanny ability to not answer a policy question, not explain what she's going to do, just in a general sense. Prices are too high, we're going to bring them down. Not explaining anything further than that.
How?
But you're right. I mean, for as long as I can remember, and I think we all fell victim to this at one time, it was a big show of Republican versus Democrat, and you just picked a team. And it took Donald Trump coming in for a lot of us to realize it's not Republican versus Democrat, it's them versus us. And when Donald Trump came in, he was hated by his own party, and he was hated by the Democrats as well. And that's when it clicked for a lot of people. And they're like, this is a big show, like you say.
Well, and the scariest part about it is, to me, if and I just want to finish this one thought.
Yeah.
We have become so polarized as a nation that it's not just about. I mean, I remember even me. I don't think that I'm that old. I'm 39, fixing to be 40. Will be 40 next year. But I still remember politics when you could talk to somebody about whatever the topic was, and it wasn't like you have to be wrong because I'm right, and I'm going to hate you because of your stance. There was none of that. It was like you could still have a conversation and agree to disagree, or
you could vote for the other guy and still be friends.
Right. Yeah. Now it's, if you say that you like Donald Trump, then half of the people that you talk to are going to hate you because they think you're an evil person.
Right.
And it blows me away.
Right.
All right. So I'd like to I'd like to combat that and chime in from the other side of the table. So
this side?
No. I'm just saying.
Which side of the table are you talking about?
The Democrat side.
Okay.
So
the left side.
We don't have one of those.
I'll go ahead and make my announcement, man. I'll be voting for Kamala this year. Reason being, because we do the things we do because those are the things we do. And in this time,
Big John's leaving.
In this time of presence, there's no presence like the time we're in, right? The policies she's enacting are great policies. Joe Biden has done great things for this country. He just wasn't able to say the words that she says because he didn't say the words that she says.
You need to have a disclaimer on this episode that he's full of
I'm
shit.
going with the word salad.
Actually, YouTube is going to completely boost this podcast because he went into that.
Now we got like 1 million views. Yeah. The other way.
We finally hit
You
that million
said something nice about Kamala.
Yeah.
No, but on a serious note, I feel bad for Kamala. I really do. She was forced into a situation. I would have liked to have seen someone besides her. With what happened with Joe, they shunned him out or whatever.
Oh, that was crap.
And it was, man. I'm absolutely against that. I think she is not a real candidate in this race because she wasn't, as it's been stated so many times, she wasn't voted in by the people in the primaries.
But
right?
as an Indian,
no, she's black.
Are we sure?
Well, what's today?
It's Friday. She's Indian.
Okay.
Because in Friday they put out the news that they don't want anybody to see because everybody's worried about the weekend. So she's Indian on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday she's back to black.
Back to black.
Not on the head.
Okay.
But as an Indian and getting the Democrat nomination without a single vote from the Democrat voters, she has pulled off the biggest scam of any Indian in history. Any Indian at a call center, any Indian at doing phishing emails. She has pulled off the biggest scam of all time. So she should be proud of herself.
America answered the phone. That's what happened.
This is John Smith.
That's what happened. And they gave their credit card number.
Yes. That's what happens if she gets voted in November 5th. It's like,
I want to know,
credit card number.
because it is not November.
No.
Where is our actual president right now?
You know what's crazy is today they had the first cabinet meeting they've had in 11 months, and they bring cameras in there, or the press comes in there for like 5 minutes, and the president will say a few words, and then they'll kick them out. They'll kick the press out. So when video footage of that comes up, it shows the layout of the table, and at the head of the table is Jill Biden, not Joe Biden. Jill Biden is at the head of the table for this cabinet meeting, and then when they got these little, folders, booklet things. They're like very fancy, and they've got inscribed the presidential seal and all that. On that, it was the presidential seal. It said Joe Biden, but under it said Jill Biden, and it's like,
what?
Really?
Wait a minute.
Really?
Is Jill Biden actually in charge now? I mean, that's what people are asking today.
I mean, we've all been married. Yeah, she's in charge, but like, is she the president?
I think that's a legitimate question at this point.
It's very odd to me that he's just.
Hold on. I say we call her the first woman president.
And then Kamala's got nothing to stand on.
She's got nothing at that point. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, because honestly, I really do hate how they did that to him, because to me it's a slap in the face for what the actual process is supposed to be.
Well, yeah, it is.
You just all of a sudden you kick the guy out. You're like, nope, you're not. No matter what, yeah, you won the votes, but we don't care.
You got to keep it in perspective. Joe Biden actually is a horrible human being, even leading up to his dementia.
No, hold on, wait a minute. He is not horrible, dude. Imagine if Joe Biden was your granddad, right? Or your dad. Look at what he did for his crackhead son. His crackhead son is a friggin' millionaire, bro.
If he was my dad and I was a crackhead, yes, he would be a fantastic person.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All they have to do to get my vote is be honest with me. Tell me, listen, I'm going to come into office and I'm going to do a lot of good things. I'm going to do the best job that I possibly can.
Better than anybody else.
But I'm going to get rich while I'm doing it. I'm going to benefit off of information that nobody else knows about. I'm going to line my pockets while I'm doing this so that I come out on the other side of this in a way better situation than I did going in.
Unlike Donald Trump.
Respect.
Who came out poorer.
Yeah.
Getting thrown
I respect
in jail.
that. Yeah. That's what's nuts about him is that, everybody wants to talk about
dude, bro's had 2 attempts on his life so
yeah.
far. And he's still balling.
Doing?
He's like, hey, let's do another one.
And there's no news coverage about any of this stuff. Think about it. If there was an assassination attempt right now on her, what do you think all of the headlines would be
wall-to-wall
tomorrow?
But if you put those headlines out there, say you're CNN, MSNBC, ABC, whatever, if you put that out there, you're turning Trump into a victim, and that's the last thing they want to do.
Right. They did not want him to be a martyr. They didn't. I get all that stuff, but at the same time, where's the investigation? Where's the head of Secret Service or whoever it is giving us an actual report on this is what happened step by step? These are all the is that because you keep up with this?
Well,
way more than I
they
do.
are doing that, but they're not giving us answers. They're giving us the runaround,
which is bullshit.
So,
right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I want to ask a question. I'm going to go dark. Let's say attempt number 3 is successful.
No, God, I don't want to.
No, I want to go hypothetical.
I
here.
did think about that.
What
Yeah,
happens?
I have to.
What happens?
I honestly don't know. I've thought about it a million times.
Yeah.
Since
Kamala's
Butler-
president.
Since July, I've thought about it a million times.
Now, if you go back to July 13th, that would have been a problem because he hadn't picked his running mate yet, and the Democrats.
And he was not the nominee yet.
Yeah,
technically.
and I think their plan was to get rid of him, and that's why Biden waited until after the attempt, and then he went ahead and dropped out because I think they were on that whole thing personally.
Right. The plan was it was going to be Kamala versus insert Republican candidate Nikki Haley or whoever.
Yeah.
It was going to be some, and then both of them would be starting from the same position. Where right now Trump's been running for 8 years,
Pretty much.
Kamala's been running for 8 weeks, and she is way behind the 8 ball. That was going to level the playing field.
Not according to their polls. She's
not behind the ball. She's just cuddling
just
him a little
cupping
bit.
So how did you guys? All right. So average Joe speaking. The funniest thing that I thought about the Trump when he named Vance.
Horrible pick.
Now hang on. Let me ask this because this is how little I actually keep up with this. Vance is still his vice president pick, right?
Right.
So what is RFK Jr.? What is he?
He's dropped out and endorsed Trump.
Yeah, he's
So
dropped
that's
out
all
and
that.
endorsed Trump,
but he's not on Trump's team for.
Well, Trump has said that he's going to put him in the administration
Okay,
if he gets
okay.
elected.
All right.
So,
fair
and I'm a
enough.
fan of that guy. I personally like
the
him.
only takeaway that
love
I
his
got.
voice.
The only takeaway that I got from that when JD Vance was announced was YouTube, not YouTube, but Netflix. That Hillbilly Elegy or whatever went to like number 1.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. I watched that movie when it actually came out the first time and really enjoyed it. And it was just funny to me. It was like, oh, so this is the research that America is doing. Like that's
you
it.
gotta get it where you can get it, cuz.
That's the research. They're like, okay, so this is, and we're going to base all of our opinions off of this movie.
And you can't get it. You can't get your info from the news. You can't get it from Facebook. You can't get it from Instagram.
No, you get it from over the line.
You get it from over the line, and you get it from Twitter. I mean, if you use Twitter the right way, that is one of the only social media free speech platforms so far. You can. Are you proposing? What's going on here?
Oh, hold on.
Where's
let me
he
unbuckle.
going?
Let me unbuckle.
What is he
I
doing?
knew that would look funny. I dropped my baby.
Oh, okay.
I could have got that for you.
Yeah,
buddy.
I was gonna say, I was about to grab
Now,
it.
see, if Kamala did a movie on her life before all this happened, it'd be like Pretty Woman Part 2, or
It would
not
be
so
called
Pretty Woman. You know?
It'd be called Mouthful of Willie Brown.
Who would play Montel in that?
Probably. That's a good question. Who would it be?
Like, if you could pick the guy
Probably.
to play Montel.
I'd pick Sean Combs.
Okay.
So I'm so glad you said that because the thought that is in my head at this specific moment that I want to talk to you about is with all of this stuff happening with Diddy, are you thinking about changing the nickname?
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. It's
Like, 'cause do we want the association anymore?
well, it's a tough spot because y'all know better than anybody that I gave him that name almost before he was born. He needed a cool rap name, so that's what we went with. And it was not an homage to Puff Daddy. It was just, your name's Peyton. I like Diddy. Let's call you P. Diddy. I don't even think that I think Puff Daddy was still Puff Daddy when I went the P. Diddy route. I don't even think he was P. Diddy yet.
He was still Puff Daddy.
And so,
Or Sean Puffy Combs or something like that.
yeah, it was not tied to him in any way. But because that has been there since day one, I'm kind of just riding it out, and maybe, it works its way out of the headlines.
Is it not funny, though, that that's the first thought that I had when all this stuff started happening?
yeah. So
I
did
actually
everybody
went
else.
to myself, is Andrew going to change his nickname?
No, listeners have asked us the
So
same thing.
I'm ignorant to this. I know a little.
Baby oil.
Baby oil. So
Are we going into the P. Diddy stuff? Because before we do that, I got to show y'all the latest Kamala Harris ad.
Please.
Oh, Lord.
Let's do that
Please.
before we move on. So they've got a campaign called White Dudes for Harris, and that's why I got to
Is
play
it
because
better
we're all
than the
white
Gavin
dudes.
Newsom ad?
No, it's worse. It's an actual real ad that they put out. And so this is their pitch to white males that are on the fence about who they're going to vote for.
Hey, white dudes. So, I think we're all pretty sick of hearing how much we suck. Every time you go online, it's the same story. We're the problem. And yeah, some white dudes are. Trump and all his MAGA buddies are out there making it worse, shouting nonsense in their stupid red hats and acting like they speak for us when they don't. All they've ever done is screw us over. But if you're not on the MAGA train, where do you go? Isn't it just swapping out one crappy option for another? Then it hit me. This isn't about picking teams. It's about who's got a plan that's gonna make life better for me and my family. So I've been doing my own research and decided to check out Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And before you jump down my throat, they're actually talking to guys like us. No lectures, no BS. Just real solutions.
Lots of BS.
Freedoms.
Lots of it.
Lots.
Whoa, was that Zuckerberg at the grill?
I think Harris and Walz are the ones to make that happen. End of the day, you're your own man. It's your call. But if anyone gives you crap about it, tell them it's none of their damn business.
White dudes for Harris.
Okay.
So did anybody connect with that?
So
did y'all feel any kind of way?
Yeah, I feel like I want to go eat some tofu.
Yeah, with a side of soy milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does nothing for me.
I was watching that and I'm like, who connects with that?
Because even if I was on the fence, it wouldn't sway me to want to vote for her.
Anyway, let's just do the P Diddy thing.
Well, hold on. I
mean, I'm good with skipping it.
I do. Well, I don't want to skip it.
Just like, please.
I don't want to skip it, but I do want to
this.
say I want to appreciate one thing about that ad.
Okay.
There was no slamming.
I thought you were fixing to say it had a
What do
nice
you mean?
beat.
Like there was no slamming on the right.
No, there was.
There was a little bit about
Donald
the
Trump,
MAGA
his
hats and-
goons and stupid MAGA hats.
Very little, but well, I'm just saying I appreciate it because there's in even Donald's, man. The ads are very look what I've done, This one was more not informative, but it touched on what it tried to make some things, which was stupid, but it wasn't one of those. This guy's a piece of crap, It.
Yeah,
I can.
They didn't address Donald
I can
Trump
halfway
directly.
appreciate that approach.
What I get
Don't do
tired
that.
of. What I
I
get
can appreciate the approach.
I'm tuning him out. What?
Kamala, woo!
Jesus. What I get tired of hearing is
hold on. So we had a family vacation
Here's
a couple
the
weeks
bullet
ago.
talking.
Yeah. So we
Is
had
he
a family
leaning yet?
vacation a couple weeks ago with Amber's family from Chicago.
Yeah.
From Chicago. All right.
Okay.
Enough said. So they come down and
Are they super left?
not super left, but they're left.
Okay.
All right. So they come down and we have a tiki night. Everybody gets these little rum buckets and we're drawing on them, right? And I draw this like, I don't know, like Wilson face, right? And it's got a big O for a mouth. And the top said "Swallow with Kamala 24."
Oh.
Right? And I showed it to them. Lost their shit.
Oh,
They
no.
did not like it. They
really?
did not like it.
What did
Yeah.
they say?
They just kind of dropped their heads and shit.
But see, that's the problem.
But I did it all in fun.
It was
just
joke.
fun, man.
Yeah.
And that's you got people like fucking Gavin Newsom that want you to be able to be in trouble for saying something like that.
That wasn't AI created.
But you get what I'm saying. Like the whole what he's going after Elon Musk for.
He just needs to
about
stick to writing songs for Bush, okay?
Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Come on.
Well, he signed the bill, Gavin Newsom did, to completely ban anything AI that's politics related or campaign related. Like you can't use it. I guess he's going to find a way to block it on Twitter. They've threatened. He acts like they're gonna take legal action against Elon Musk. By the way, you might want to bring your chair back up. I'm just looking at your camera angle, and you are going to look like you're 3'6".
Well, I
on
mean,
this
he's
video.
not much taller than that.
He's talk about 3'6". All right. So if you ever get time on your hands, don't do it on this. Google Sassy Cassie. That's all I'm gonna say. Sassy Cassie.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and say that, Tony, we do not need to.
No, not on the show.
Correct,
No,
yeah.
no.
I'm
no
not
idea what that
judging
is.
by the facial. I'm not doing it. No.
I don't even know what it is, but I know if he's wanting you to do it.
Have a friend do it on their device.
Yeah.
Don't even do it on yours.
Use your VPN.
That's not good.
Sassy Frassy in a cup or something.
Yeah, two Cassies in one cup. All right, so the P. Diddy stuff. I mean, we haven't really talked a lot about it on the show, but I think everybody kind of understands. Across, is that what he's doing right now?
Yes.
I'm not looking at it. I'm just saying.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is a genuine worry for me though, because I honestly thought about that because I know
You talking about Cassie?
No, P. Diddy.
Oh,
His
okay,
nickname.
yeah.
It's a genuine worry because that is the first thing. I'm not doing it. Damn it, I did it.
Is it
Here.
okay?
No, I mean it's not like vulgar.
Okay, that's enough. Get out of here.
back.
Get out of here with that.
Fucking 12-year-old over there.
So it's yeah, I did the name thing. It's whatever. I'm just gonna write it out and see what happens.
What does he think
but,
about it?
I mean, he's kind of the same way. I mean, it's not like he's calling himself P. Diddy, so it's really an issue for me.
Well,
not
hey,
him.
can you fill me in on this? Like all I know is they found like 1,000 things of lubricant. And what's wrong with that?
I saw something that said they found 764 dildos, but I
Yeah,
don't know if that's true. That is true.
I mean, I saw that same thing you're talking about.
So
That's
yeah,
like
he
64
was.
less than I have at my house.
A lot of drugs, no surprise. A lot of guns, no surprise. But there was trafficking going on. He was trafficking people in and out. There's accusations. These aren't in the court filings, but accusations of relations with minors. What they call freak off parties, which is where the baby oil comes in, where he brings people in for a big party, and it I guess it turns into some sort of maybe forced orgy or.
I don't know
whatever.
how freaky anybody here is.
And these
but-
are male freak off, so it's male on male act.
no,
Yeah.
not I didn't.
No.
Okay, I'm so glad you said that before I finished my sentence.
John has those.
Oh,
He's about to tell us about his freak off. Totally different freak off.
No. I can't say anything. I cannot say anything like that because the last time that I was on this podcast, you know this. You know what happened. The aftermath.
Oh, where you cried?
No. So
The other one.
So because we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about what it is to be a man in today's world.
Right.
Right.
We're getting in touch with our feelings.
Getting in touch with our feelings and taking care of yourself.
Taking care of your wife.
It's okay to moisturize if you want to. And I made a comment about having strong hands yet soft hands.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the exact person, but there was somebody in somebody's family that basically called me.
So it's okay for you to come out on the show.
Yeah, called me and supported me about my decision to be a homosexual.
Wow.
And I mean dead serious.
Dang.
Dead serious.
It was me. I still love you, John.
And the funniest thing is I'm on the phone and I'm listening to what's happening, and he is talking in a way where I'm not putting the pieces together.
Right.
And he's just like, I just want you to know that we all love you, and no matter what, we support you, and I think it's really great that
Did he seem to be concerned about your marriage at all while you were saying all this?
well, so it's on her side of the family. And,
okay.
And he did have a genuine, like, how is Nicole handling all this? Yeah, I know, right? How is Nicole handling all this? And I think the only person that's gonna have an issue with it is Nicole's grandfather. I'm trying not to get too detailed, but it is fun.
You might as well drop a socialist.
So
where can we find them on Facebook? I want to bring them on the show.
I'm still not putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
Because it's the furthest thing from my mind. And then he finally says it. And I had to sit for a second with it and let it marinate that, like,
this dude thinks I'm gay.
Dude thinks I'm gay.
Yeah.
Like, he just called me homosexual. Which, for the record, I have zero issues with anybody and what they do in their personal lives.
Right.
At all. Like, I support everybody to have.
I have a question. So how did it make you feel? Because I went to the Quest one night, right?
Oh, we've all
Everybody's
done that.
been there, right? And I went there with, actually, this was a night with you. Wait a minute. Let me back that up a little bit. So we went there, and we were hanging out at Charlie's, right? And we go there, and I'm sitting at the bar, and I grab a drink, right? And this guy comes up and sits beside me. Hey, cool. We're just sitting there talking. He puts his hand, like, on my thigh. Starts rubbing my thigh. I started questioning myself. I'm like, dude, am I putting off those vibes? and it bothered me. So my question is, how did that make you feel?
So it was so weird because for me, with it when it's not something that's at your forward thought process, it took a minute, and then the only thought that came into my mind was, oh wow, it really doesn't matter what I say now. At this point,
you're gay.
He's only going.
He thinks he's gay.
He's only going to think that I'm a homosexual, and now you regret saying it. And now I'm trying to cover it up. Yeah. So if I say no, then it's almost like, oh, he's still not comfortable saying. I was like, what? I was like, what do I do?
I tell you what you do. You Google images and just randomly send them to him, right?
You get you go to AI, Chat GPT, and type in, how do I tell this family member I'm not gay?
Hey, you Google Barry, right? And then Photoshop your face.
So here's the crazy part. It turned into a whole big thing. To this day, there is still
family members that think you're gay.
There's still a rift in the family because of what happened, because all of a sudden he's calling my wife and telling her, tell him not to talk about this because I could lose my job. And he made a post on Facebook, and which I did, but I was very, very vague about the whole thing. I didn't name anybody. I didn't even get this detailed about it. And I'm like, it's America. I can say what the fuck I want to say. I'm a man. I'll say whatever I want to say. If you're going to call me that, I'm going to talk about it.
And Nicole's like, he wasn't gay last night.
It was so weird to get put in that situation because you start to realize, like, it doesn't matter what you do nowadays. You're always going to be on the wrong side of something. Right?
Yeah, right.
So it doesn't matter if you're trying to be the absolute best version of yourself. It may not be somebody coming and hitting you saying that you're not, image perfect, like you're too fat or you're too whatever. It might be that, which honestly took a little wind out of my sails. I'm just going to be honest. It did. Because I'm thinking to myself, this whole time, all I've done is try to be a better version of me as a man, and then this is and it makes you think, is this the image that I'm portraying? Is this or is this just one person being very skewed?
That happens in this business, in the radio business. One person will come out, you'll get 100 compliments about the show, and then one person's like, man, this show sucks, blah, blah, blah. And you're like,
it's
really?
that one. They're like, and it makes you want. You can listen to all the good things.
John, I love you for you.
Thank you.
Now, I mean, you talking about, I'm trying to, do better for myself, dude. Hey, be happy with you.
I am.
Like, if you want to better yourself, better yourself.
Yep.
But if you got to be happy with you where you are.
Listen,
I think you are, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And listen, I am so.
I mean, we still love you, even though you're gay.
Here's the thing. And stuff like that doesn't even faze me. Like, I am so comfortable with who I am as a person and as a man.
As all gays should be.
That hang on. So Nicole, and I'm not going to say any names, but
except Nicole.
Well, I can
her
say
granddad, his social, his address.
I can say Nicole. That's but. We have some friends, okay?
Yeah.
That invited us to Pride in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I was dead set. I was absolutely okay with if it wasn't for a scheduling issue with me, we would be there. Because I have no issues at all with any of that.
Right.
I don't care what
most people in this country nowadays don't.
Yeah, nobody
cares.
That's not me. If you're looking for me to be that conservative, I don't care about what people do in their own time. It blows me away that's what people still do, though. They still care about what people do in their own time, in their own house, in their own space.
You know what's funny? I'll say this real quick, is that we were talking about this before you got here, and we were talking about how the fact that you were a little soft on the conversation was such a benefit to the Last Man show we did. Because we got so much response from the ladies. It talked about how great the show was. It wasn't what they expected. They expected, man talking to me and stuff. But they were like, oh, it's actually pretty good.
Tony was like, Hey, is John gay?
No, I didn't. But my accountant watched the episode, and she said, "Oh, that guy, he was pretty sweet."
Listen, I don't care. Look, it's totally fine with me. I honestly, comments like that do not affect me at all.
Right.
Because if anything, it lets me know, because I know who I used to be. Okay, so comments like that let me know how far I've actually come, because there was nobody 10 years ago that was calling me sweet.
Yeah,
because I was ruthless. I didn't give a shit about anybody except for me, and I feel like that. Honestly, I'll take it as a compliment. If somebody wants to call me sweet, fine.
Yeah,
fine. Doesn't bother me at all. It bothered me that all of a sudden I'm having to defend a position that I don't even know how to defend, and didn't really feel like the defense was justified in the first place. That was the thing that got me.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question. You remember, he said something, squirreled my brain. Do you remember years ago, me and you, we made a trip to South Carolina to go visit people from Cam Frog?
Yes.
And on the way back through, we wound up in the middle of Pride in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's Gay Pride Awareness. You're like, bruh, it's not a sickness.
yeah, I remember that. That trip was so much fun. And ironically, we went to visit a couple lesbians out in South Carolina.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If you guys want to have fun, go and hang out. I'm dead serious. If you're comfortable with who you are and you don't care and you just love people in general, you can't find better people. You can't find people that love unconditionally like that. Yeah. Honestly, I think that and I know this is going to piss a lot of people off, but I feel like the people that are more conservative and on the further extreme right of things nowadays miss that point a little bit. That we are all still human beings at the end of the day, and we should all still love each other at the end of the day and respect each other as human beings.
Right.
Because you can't look at somebody as what they are. They're a human being.
Let's
Sorry, I didn't.
Let's get back to man stuff.
Hold on.
Homosexuality.
Let me take my rainbow jacket off.
Stop talking about this.
Tony, go over one tab. I saw this a couple days ago. And it was about...
Is that lemonade?
It could be.
What is on the screen?
So this is a video I came across, and it talks about guys peeing. Being the man show, we all pee, and kind of generally the same way. It's in particular, speaking of...
Mike sits down.
Peeing,
I do handstand.
It talks about peeing standing up and the dangers of peeing standing up. And so I want to give you guys this educational video. And Tony, we'll probably start and stop it throughout this thing, but go ahead and let's see what we got.
Do you know how dirty it is for a man to pee standing up? During the 21-second release,
this guy's voice
guys usually
is everywhere.
aim for 4 spots. The back of the toilet is the most destructive option. The rebound splash can be up to 7,550 drops of urine. If you're facing the water in the middle of the toilet, that's 372 drops of urine. Simply put, even if you're the best shooter, you can't escape the splash of urine. When the urine flies 7.5 to 15 centimeters, the urine will collide with each other in midair.
Okay. So that's a lot of action going on.
Where did you find
standing
this?
up? I don't know. I end up in some weird places on the internet.
I want to know what you're Googling.
So when you pee standing up, there is quite the distance that your urine has to travel from your wee willy winker to the water.
When I roll, it's in the water.
Right.
Yeah, no.
So
it's a lot further distance that he's traveling, I promise.
let's go through and let's ask each person.
I mean, me too. I'm tall.
What on average, what part of the bowl do you aim for? Do you go for straight in the water, on the backside, on the side of the bowl? Where do you go?
So for me, it depends on time, right? If it's middle of the day, I'm gonna go for the center.
And we're talking about traditional toilet, not a urinal or anything.
Yeah, traditional toilet. I'm aiming for the center because
talking about a round bowl or
round bowl, standard oblong round bowl.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oval.
So I aim for the middle.
Okay.
I want the deepest
Straight in
water.
the water.
Straight in the water. I want the deepest water. I want the deepest sound. I want that cool sound. But if it's nighttime, if I'm waking up and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta pee. I'm aiming for like the sides or the backs to kind of quieten that splash.
Don't want to wake
I'm
up the wife.
respectful. I don't want to wake the wife up.
Right. And when you're drunk and you wake up in the middle of the night,
Well, if I'm Scott, I'll piss in a dryer. But for me, it's going everywhere.
What about you? What part of the toilet bowl?
I'm going to say something.
And again, I'm asking on average. I don't want to break down.
I'm really hating that we just had the conversation that we had, and now I'm going to say this. But you know, I'm going to say what I want to.
You sit down to pee.
So, in the morning, I'm exhausted, especially if I'm working out of town, and say that
sleep is hard.
Say that I'm not staying out of town. I'm close enough where I can get up at like 2:30 in the morning and still make it to the job site.
Here we go.
I will sit down.
Oh, here we go.
I will go and I will sit down because I don't think I can actually.
Now he's leaving.
I don't think I can stand there for the duration because I'm exhausted.
So, but I'm asking on average.
But on average, I just take it and like stick it down in the hole at the bottom of the toilet and just go through the
like a plumber snake.
Yeah,
you just get straight to the septic tank.
There's no sound. I mean,
okay.
it's under the water.
It's like putting a water hose in the pool. Yeah, it's halfway filled up.
Doesn't everybody do that?
Tony Gump, where do you hit the bowl at?
I always go water right deep center when it's daytime and stuff like that. But if I'm at somebody else's house and I know they can hear it, then I tend to do what
I have the best question for this. This is the best question because I know every one of you has done this. All right, we're supposed to raise the seat.
No, we're not. They should lift the seat for us.
Right. Either way, we're not supposed to piss when the seat's down, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How many of you piss when the seat's down and just wipe it up when you're done?
So every guy does that.
Let me tell you what I like.
I do it every single time. Every time. I'm just going to piss the seat down and I'll take the toilet paper and wipe it up.
The seats that have the gap up front, right?
Yes.
I like to pee and then start lifting the seat. That way I can make the gap as I'm lifting the seat.
I'm not
like erasing it.
I'm not coordinated enough for that. I'll turn left.
Well, here's my average is I'll go like if the bowl's in front of me, I'll go with the side because I feel like there's an angle that kind of helps it, slide in there.
You like seeing the circle?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like a whirlpool.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Anyway, let's get back to the video. We're not even 20 seconds in.
Oh, Lord, there's more.
Yeah, there's more.
So it breaks into smaller drops, flying higher, farther, and wider. The maximum process can reach 91.4 centimeters.
Man,
that's a lot of centimeters.
Onto the toothbrush,
towel,
tissue paper next to it. And 77% of guys will
Who
shake
keeps their toothbrush next to the toilet?
The residual urine will also become everywhere. If they are not cleaned up in time, it will slowly form urine scale.
Did he just say that the residual urine will turn into cum? What did he say?
Turn into what?
Rewind that and listen to what he just said.
John's dreaming again. That's that gayness coming out.
Listen to what he said.
John, are you sure you're not gay? You're going to get that phone call after the show.
Get another phone call.
All right, go back like
listen to what he says.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that's not what he said.
It's not what he
says.
says.
If they are not cleaned up in time, it will slowly form urine scale. It gives off a bad
That was not even close.
Many men may think that peeing standing up is a sign of male honor. But in some countries, most of them pee sitting down. For example, German boys are taught from a young age that peeing while sitting is the real deal. And according to a study,
from the Germans,
no difference between boys peeing.
A bad idea.
There's no difference in the speed or time of peeing. So do you stand or sit? Feel free to discuss in the comments section.
I should have waited for my comment.
Yeah, you should have. So
you should have said something. I would have waited.
This video is telling us that we as males need to pee when we sit down, and here's where I'll insert my problem that I have as a married guy. I have had numerous times where Trish comes to me and she says, you're peeing on the floor, or the bathroom smells like pee. Are you peeing? Are you even peeing in the toilet? And I'm like,
how?
I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking? I
not even
always
possible.
pee in the toilet, but after watching this is why women get the impression that we're peeing in the floor.
Because they're accusing us of peeing on the backside of the toilet. Down,
right. It's like, I don't even get there.
What?
John, hold up. They said the splash goes 94 centimeters.
Right.
Math says that's 37 inches, which is more than 3 foot, right?
Right.
By 1 inch.
We're 3 foot. We're less than 3 foot from
you are
from eat it from here to mouth. That means it's getting in our mouth, bro.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Does that make us gay?
Well, if it's getting to your toothbrush, I heard a stat that you got to have your toothbrush 6 feet from the toilet to avoid that, but Now I'm not sure. I think it floats in the air. Probably goes through the whole house.
I've always been a fan of.
It's on my steak. I ate pea steak.
I've always been a fan of
pea
toilet being in the separate room with the door, and then the rest of the bathroom.
Well, like a stall?
No. Like you.
I get.
You probably have that.
Yeah,
here.
we got one here.
Yeah.
Well,
So you go in the
unfortunately,
bathroom.
we're living in a world of Joe Biden, and we can't all afford that shit.
We can't afford stalls
not,
in our home.
It's not a
I've got a
stall.
porta-john.
It's just the toilet is in its own little room,
Right,
for
right.
the rest of the bathroom.
Yeah.
That way, your toothbrush is not sitting on the on the tank.
I store mine on the back.
It helps if you're married and you can do. Like, if you're that well off, you can do a his and her bathroom. And then, whatever.
Well, back in the day, they actually took urine and they brushed with it to make their teeth whiter back in 1600s, 1700s Europe. That's a fact.
Because under a black light.
Hey, have you noticed,
I'm
like
not
the older generations, like the 1600s, 1700s, they didn't have the teeth problems we have.
What do you mean?
Like, nowadays, you've got everybody getting falsies.
No, back then they didn't smile in pictures.
Yeah, and they didn't have fluoride in their water.
Every painting I've seen
Yes.
of Genghis Khan, he's got beautiful teeth, man. I'm just saying.
Well, that's because they just ate meat and they didn't have sugar and they didn't.
And
have
he's
things
smiling
like that.
because he just raped like 3/4 of the world.
Hey, do y'all know how many kids Genghis Khan had? I learned this the other day.
We all have a little bit of Genghis Khan in our bloodline.
Between 1,000 to 3,000 kids estimated.
Wow.
Dude, that's a lot of kids.
Here's the question that's coming into my mind, though, about this whole splash thing. If they're talking about this with the urine, I wonder what the bidet is doing.
Nothing. Because you're covering it.
Think about that.
But you cover it.
The bidet is separate from what's in the bowl. So if you're just using the bidet on the backside of, say, taking a poop.
Well, the bidets that we're talking about are not like, so I know like if you're in a really ritzy place, they have a bidet and a toilet. But like what I'm talking about is the bidet that you buy at Home Depot that you hook to the back of the and
there's a bidet here at the studios.
Oh, is there?
In the closest bathroom.
I may have to.
It's heated.
and the toilet's heated and everything
Nice.
else.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
But to answer your question, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what happens there.
Well,
I'm not
a bidet expert, but I've had one for a while, and I was skeptical at first. But once I try one, I'm like, I gotta have one in every toilet.
So I got a question. Public bidet, yay or nay?
Oh, definitely nay.
I would say yay.
So let me ask why nay.
The reason why nay is because of maintenance. There you have lots of asses, going on there, and
excuse me.
I thought we could cuss on this podcast. Can we not cuss? Because I've been cussing like a sailor.
Well, no, there's a maintenance thing, and if you have a lot of people that don't know how to go properly and you're not using the same bidet, it can get a little dirty underneath there, and cleaning a bidet and lifting it up and doing the whole cleanliness is different than just a regular toilet.
Yeah, because you can't trust the general public not to poop while using the bidet and poop on the bidet.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife and I just had the discussion.
That would be a mess, wouldn't it?
Well, my wife and I almost put one in at our shop, and we decided not to because of the maintenance and the cleanliness. And if somebody needs to use the restroom and they're not familiar with the bidet, they might just, do whatever.
They're just spraying their balls
I will
for 10
tell
minutes.
you what sold me on the bidet, and the only reason that I ever even owned one of these things.
Well, we've already had this conversation. We know what sold you on the bidet.
Was COVID.
What do you mean?
The toilet paper stuff. So my solution, the moment that...
Bro, I still got to wipe after a bidet.
Huh? Yeah, but here's the thing. If you are out of toilet paper, okay, just hear me out. This is not going to be... I'm sorry for anybody that thinks this is gross, but if you're using a bidet, all you're doing is drying it off when you're done. You're not actually cleaning anything up, right? So if you're out of toilet paper, technically you can have a rag that was my thought process, was if people are going to be idiots and buy up all the toilet paper, then we're going to use water and rags, and I'll do a load of laundry or an extra load of laundry a week to...
Well, the bidets, if you got the right bidet, it's got a dryer on it.
Yeah, see, ours has a dryer. You can do that.
y'all are way beyond
John,
me.
go try it.
All right, I'll be back.
But seriously, with the bidet, I still even use one square just to wipe, just for my,
whoa, one square?
How do you use one square?
You go one square?
I go one square.
Are you like quad ply?
No, I just use one. Well,
it's just to pat it dry.
Like, it's good.
You got to use it in the right manner.
One square.
I just got to see the clean. I like to see the clear wipe. Look at it, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey,
I've always wondered how a blind person knows when to stop wiping.
Is it the smell?
No, I think it's like because we know.
The taste.
Listen, as people that can see, we know it's like shit, blood, stop.
Yeah, no, hey, whoa, hey, my toes have been stepped on, bro.
Listen. It's is there anything more satisfying? We're eliminating the bidet. Is there anything more satisfying than a ghost poop? The first wipe and there's nothing there.
No, there's not. There's not.
That's a great feeling.
It makes you feel like you're eating correctly, doesn't it?
Well, it makes you feel like your intestines have lied to you. You didn't really poop.
No, for me, it's like oh, my my fiber must be right on where it needs to be because there's nothing going on.
Well, and it's a result of you got firm poop. You know?
Yeah.
It's not soft and squishy, and you didn't cut it off halfway through.
Have you ever had a sinker and a floater in the same poop?
I don't think so.
You know, I was running over what topics we might cover tonight.
This
on the way
one
over
of them?
here. This was not one of them.
Listen, I constantly get accused by the audience or some members of the audience of just constantly talking about poop, and it's not constant, but it does come up more than it does with other hosts. I will admit that.
Hey, there's a book. It's called Everybody Poops.
Well, I mean, I get it. If you
about
don't talk about it, it can cause a backup. You know, I get it.
Yeah, it's important to talk about.
I mean, it's something everybody has in common for sure.
Everybody poops.
That's the thing. You think about like when you're talking to somebody, whether it's a friend or somebody you just met or whatever. If they're smart and they really want to engage you, they will ask you about yourself because what are you an expert in? What do you know the most about? You know the most about yourself. Poop is the same way. We can have a conversation with anybody about it because they are an expert in pooping because they've done it a lot.
Everybody always wanted to know my trick when we were younger about how does he get the women that he gets because he's not that great looking of a guy.
He's gay. How does he get them?
No, it was I would look at the hottest woman in the room. I mean, she could be drop dead gorgeous, and I would know she still takes a shit. It leveled the playing field.
Is that a confidence thing?
It is. It is.
I never thought about that while trying to hit on a woman. I don't want to think about a woman taking a poop. Well, I'm like, hey, girl, what you doing?
Actually, I had that advice. My brother told me one time, if you liked a girl and she didn't like you back, just imagine her taking a shit.
No, in that case, yeah. Because if she didn't like you back, you're like, all right, cool. I see you shitting.
And if you really don't want to like her, just imagine her having number 3, diarrhea.
Girl, what you got in those intestines?
3? Is that number 3? I didn't know.
That's what I always called it, yeah.
Number 3 is diarrhea?
Number 3 is
dangerous. Tony just taught me something.
I know, me too. I thought that was throw up.
Yeah.
There was...
I guess it technically is, just out of your anus.
There was a story that Trish handed off to me before I left the house today, and she said... This seems like it's up y'all's alley. You'll really need to talk about it.
Was that for this podcast or for
this one? She
okay.
told me this today.
Okay.
And it's about a guy.
I love Trish, by the way.
She's awesome.
She is awesome.
It's about a guy who tragically died because he was getting ready to cook. He had these hamburger patties that are like pre-made patties, and they were stuck together. And apparently he tried to use a knife to get them unstuck, but miscalculated and stabbed himself, and it killed him. They found him dead.
What the hell?
Yeah, this is the TikTok of it where a guy's explaining exactly what happened. Watch this.
So it's finally happened. Somebody had to do it, and police found Barry laying in the pool of blood in his bed, and it wasn't until they went to the kitchen they realized what had happened. Well, once nobody heard from Barry for about a week, police came over to do a wellness check. They ended up finding him laying in a pool of blood.
Whoa, hold up.
A stab wound to his stomach.
A week?
They followed the trail of blood back to the kitchen. What did they see there on the counter?
Has friends.
But 2 patties with the piece of paper in between.
Yeah, let's pause it.
Now, police began to
piece
everything
Now, those burgers, I could see that. Those are fucking dangerous.
But
those
wait
are
a
hard
minute.
to deal
But
with.
wait a minute. If I've been laying there a week and nobody has checked on me,
those burgers are absolutely thawed at that point.
Well, yeah, no, they're thawed. But what kind of life am I living?
Mine.
Like I get texts daily. Hey man, what's up? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But
Well, if you put yourself in a position where a family member is trying to get in contact with you to see if you're gay, then you wouldn't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
last week. God, this is so sad.
Yeah.
I found somebody last week that was deceased.
no,
Yeah.
really?
Yep, in Chattanooga behind the BioLife.
While you were working?
While I was working. And the sad part about it was I just talked to that guy the week prior.
Would he work with you?
No, he was a homeless guy. They got a really, really bad homeless issue right there around where I'm building this particular
In
restaurant.
Chattanooga.
Yeah. And I just talked to the guy the week prior because he had asked me for money or what.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, I got stuff. If you want to make some money, I got stuff around here that you can do.
Right.
He wasn't interested in that, and so that's fine. But I did offer.
Right.
And then I had because this particular spot is adjacent to where I'm building this particular restaurant.
Right.
And I had a piece of equipment that was over in that area, and I went over there to get the piece of equipment and bring it back to where the restaurant is, and I saw something that caught my eye.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
this person. So I had to call. I called security first, and then we called and apparently he had been there for a week.
Dang.
Which was really sad. But you could tell when you looked that it was kind of like, I don't know, stuff runs through your head. You have to kind of push it to the side immediately. Like, well, should I have helped this guy? Or I don't think there was anything that I could have done that would have changed the outcome of that.
No.
But yeah, first for me, I've never found a dead guy before.
Probably some kind of medical issue, maybe a heart attack. And
the security guard said that he saw the guy and he stopped him a lot from like eating out of the trash cans, and that could have been something.
Could have been drugs or whatever.
It could have been anything. I didn't ask what.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question.
What was
you
that
could
you were
pick,
just showing me?
Hold on.
Oh.
If you could pick a way to go, what would it be?
Die in your sleep, of course.
Suffocation.
Yeah, in sleep.
In sleep?
If we're picking, I want to do the part. I want to do the one where I don't know it happens.
Oh, I shouldn't have.
What did you say?
I said suffocation.
Oh God.
Well,
no, but like hers. Never mind.
Suffocation by titties. Okay.
No, Bob.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
It's the man show, right? That's how I want to die.
So
can't believe it took us that long to get to that point.
So
Connect the dots.
your least way or your least favorite way to die, like what would that be?
I hate like needle stabbing, so probably like stabbed to death.
So I'm claustrophobic.
Oh,
like extremely claustrophobic, and I have
crushed in a junkyard.
So wait a minute, hold on. If you're claustrophobic, how do you do the gay orgies where like balls are all like right here in your face?
Okay, that's enough.
I mean, they swing. Do you know the old have you ever been in an older neighborhood that still have the ditches with the concrete pipe that'll connect?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have this crazy reoccurring dream from when I was a child that still happens, at least once every 3 or 4 months. I'll wake up in a cold sweat panicking because I'm trapped in one of those concrete pipes, and I can't. It's not that I am getting buried alive. I just am trapped. I can't move any further. Yeah, nobody's going to come get me, and something. So yeah, that would be my least favorite way to die.
Well, there's a video out there that I recently saw, and it's a guy who was I don't know what they call this, but it's like people that go through these narrow parts of caves. It's some sort of sport.
Spelunking? Yeah, that's it.
And it's this one guy, and he got into a part where he got stuck. And he was just stuck there.
Dude.
Nobody knew he was in there, and so he just laid there until he died. I had to cut the video off.
Yeah.
It wasn't a video of him, but it was just showing the example.
Because he got stuck up to his hips.
But your anxiety,
and it gave me an anxiety attack.
I can't deal with that.
So here's the crazy part. I'm claustrophobic. I did that when I was young.
No.
I went spelunking a lot.
Denied.
No, you're out of your mind.
I had a friend that's what his dad did, and we went to all of the unexplored, nothing like, DeSoto Caverns or, what's the Ruby Falls? Nothing like that. No handrails, no nothing. You're in there with hard hats, and there were areas where you would have to exhale to slide because when you inhaled, you were stuck. And I did that.
Hey, no way.
And I don't know how.
Hell no.
I don't know how I went from being able to do that when I was young to now being absolutely terrified if I get in a situation where the sheet gets too tight on the bed. You know,
Yeah,
like I will freak
Bro,
out.
I can watch a YouTube of somebody like on top of a building, right, and like taking selfies.
Yeah,
I start going crazy.
Oh, hell no.
I don't like the height.
Tony Gump, least favorite way to die?
Falling off a building, you know.
Yep,
like, for real, like when I watch 9/11, you know, I'm like, what are you doing? Go back in the fire. Why are you jumping off?
Yeah, die of
Get over to building 7. You still got time.
So it's funny you say that's my way. I don't want to go in a fire.
You don't. Oh, a fire.
I do it. I do after I'm dead.
No, I want to be cremated. Most people want to be cremated. If you're smart, be cremated.
You can save your family so much money if you die in a fire, though.
Yeah, dude, and you're eating up land.
Yeah,
like
I don't
make no more of that.
Here's the
Stop
thing.
eating that up.
I don't want my friends to have to carry my fat ass to the graveside.
You don't have enough to carry.
Because I mean, I assume that you're picking us.
That's like 30 friends,
and so I mean, we could. You don't have to just like carry it like straight up. You can put it on the gurney that they use for the hearse, and we can just pretend to carry you.
Yeah, but my luck is that they would have one of those like beach carts with the big wheels and stuff. Like we would have to.
We would have
the big huge wheels.
And it'd be motorized. Like we just have to pull out all the stops for this
now
guy.
listen, we forgot about our burger guy. We just left him hanging. Yeah. We don't have the full story on that yet, so let's get back to that because that's good.
Together, there was a knife laying there with a little bit of blood on it and a trail all the way back to the bed. And what they assume happened is old Barry tried to get himself a burger for the day, and he pulled out those patties. And we all know those patties always stick together, even if they got the paper in between them. And you try to beat them on the side of your counter or something to get them apart. Sometimes you got to pull out the knife. And that's what Barry did. He pulled out the knife, and somehow he had suffered a stroke previously. He had limited mobility in one of his hands. So he was trying to finagle these things apart and ended up accidentally stabbing himself in the stomach.
Barry.
Wait a minute.
The knife.
So
Barry was using the wrong knife, number one.
So, oh boy.
He was found nearby his cell phone and his wallet, but unfortunately, he did not make it.
Oh boy had a stroke previously.
Yeah.
And people still going to leave him a week before they check on him?
He's using his strong hand.
Like,
he's definitely using the wrong knife because you can do what he's trying to do with a butter knife.
Right.
We all
or
know
you can
that.
tap it on the counter.
He grabbed the butcher knife and was trying to pry these patties apart, which, you know, that's
and
probably
if I saw him doing that, I would have a stroke.
Speaking of patties.
Put it down, Barry.
Did you get the text from this guy last week? With the hamburger patties,
the Juicy Lucy's
with the cheddar cheese.
Those were pretty.
melting out of the. You should, yeah. Can you,
Tony?
Tony, you got a picture of those patties?
Yeah, pull up my Facebook page real quick
because
I think I posted
holy
it on there.
crap!
I just want to say I hate group text.
If there's too many people in it, it's bad.
Yeah,
I think. Listen, I'm the same way. I think that the group text that we have
go to the
is pretty decent.
It's to the left.
It's very
Click
chill.
my
People
name.
don't text about
and then scroll
dumb
down.
shit. I think that one I can deal with.
Keep scrolling.
That's the only group text that I have that's not muted. By the way,
that's a pretty man.
We've got a group text together, right? Oh,
well,
there
that's
it was.
what we were
Passed
texting
it.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about the one where you sent us all the picture of the burger.
One more. I keep saying one more. All right, here it is.
That's it right there.
Yeah, so you can pull that up and click those pictures. I cooked these the other night.
How did you make the?
Okay, so it looks a lot fancier than it actually is. Now those patties are about 2/3 of a pound apiece.
Those look amazing.
They're
by the
really
way.
big.
Yeah.
Normally I will go get a block of cheese, and
like
I
Velveeta
will,
or regular.
Like
that's not Velveeta. That's got to be like extra
it's regular, and I'll cut little thin blocks.
Velveeta goes away too quick.
Well, I'll cut thin little blocks, and then I'll put 2 thin patties, put the cheese in, put another patty on top. This one I cheated because I got the sliced cheese melts, and I just stacked 3 slices of cheese in each of those burgers.
Dude, I want to say Trish did a great job on grilling those.
Looks like a burger omelet or something.
The only thing I can do is, and actually that night I cooked burgers and chicken because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do.
Oh, go with both every time you can't decide.
Boneless chicken breast, and I marinate them for 24 hours in what is Sweet Baby Ray's garlic parmesan marinade. That's all. I don't use nothing else now. It's that good.
You know how I know you used to be fat?
Because of this?
Because of that.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Used to be.
Well, I mean, I'm like dad bod status, I think.
You're doing a lot better than me. I had.
Yeah, you're still fat.
Well, I was doing.
Don't be mean.
I was doing great.
I love you, John.
But it's almost like if you have that inner fatness that you're always dealing with. I had a shoulder injury that slowed me down in the gym.
Yeah.
Then I had a hernia, and then I tried to cut my thumb off, and like all these things coupled with being out of town and that site being an absolute nightmare. It's all been excuses for me to not do the things that I need.
Yeah.
That I need
it's
to do.
so easy
and
to
it's
do.
So
You
easy
might as well
to,
say you ain't got anywhere to type your goat. Because an excuse is an excuse. It don't matter what it is.
It's an excuse.
And it's human nature, but like for me, I could go further than where I'm at. I have yet to change my diet whatsoever.
Dude, you've done amazing.
On the
from what you used to be, you've done amazing.
Yeah, I was like 360 at one point, but I've not changed my diet whatsoever. And it's been a mixture of Mandu, but the biggest thing that had me dropping weight, because Mandu will speed up your metabolism, but the core of it is building muscle. I started doing 30 minutes on the treadmill 3 times a week. And once you do that and you're committed to that, like that's when the weight starts coming off.
So on the treadmill, do you walk? Do you jog? What do you do?
Fast walk with an incline. I think I started at like a 5 on the incline, and I do like a 9 now and a 3.0
Have you
speed.
tried running or jogging?
Nah, it's hard.
Dude,
it's hard.
I can walk on a treadmill. But if I start trying to jog, I'm envious of watching these football players and whatnot. Like
it's hard on the knees.
Well, and I feel so disoriented.
Like I will lose my balance and start going side to side bad.
Yeah,
but those guys,
I feel like Forrest Gump
man.
trying to the initial part of his run when he's trying to break the
you got to be a
braces.
skinny guy to do that.
Yeah, I think
it's
so too.
Impossible. So. But anyway, could
you imagine where you would be if you actually did change your diet though?
Oh, I know. I'd probably be below 200 if I did that.
Are you happy where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be more than happy to drop some more weight, but with building the muscle at Mandu and everything else, I'm in a good spot.
I think as men, that is one thing that you should strive for, is being able to look at yourself in the mirror and be happy with who you see.
Right.
No matter not just the physical part of it, but everything.
And you're never going to be completely happy, but you be content.
Yeah. If you have any kind of drive whatsoever, you'll always want a little bit more. You'll always want to be better, but you should be able to look at what you have done with respect and go, yeah, you know what? I'm still putting, because my thing is the physical part of it has kind of gone to the wayside, but I have kept the diet where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Not as strict as I was, but still very much so trying to dial that in.
And working on the road makes it 10 times harder.
So hard, man. It is so hard to keep all of that, going on. Right. It's almost better if I'm just a little bit further out of town where there's no option of coming home.
Right.
Because then I can just justify staying gone. And all you can do when you're gone like that is go to the job site, go to the gym, eat, and sleep.
And while you're gone, everybody's back home talking about how they think you're gay.
Right, because you're actually trying to live a little bit longer.
What I sent you a minute ago, right? You was like, oh, what is this? So you're in Chattanooga. That is a place called Mayan Kitchen.
Oh, okay.
It is incredible, dude.
Is it healthy?
No, I mean it's Mexican food, but Mexican food can be healthy, right?
As far as I'm concerned, it is.
Well, so they got the grilled chicken, but here's the thing: it's a tequila
grilled
bar.
Chicken, it's healthy.
It's a tequila bar as well. That's where I was introduced to a lot of my new tequilas that I found. Dude, it's an amazing place.
I'll try it out.
Very reasonably priced food.
I'm always looking for something new and exciting.
It's cool. Check it out.
I'm a foodie. I think that's one of the reasons why I love doing what I do is because I'm a huge supporter of that chain. I'm not going to say them on here.
Well, you can. I don't care.
I can, but I don't want
McDonald's.
them. I don't want them to get upset about anything that I've said. But,
that's true.
Yeah, but they are.
We're not associated with that gay guy,
right? But they are a very strong brand and
that's cool.
Good food.
Well, now that we brought gay back, I want to talk about pickleball for a second.
I knew we should have done that. Is pickleball gay? Is for gay people?
No, it is not, dude. It is the widest sport you will ever see. So, one of the guys I work with introduced me to pickleball yesterday. My first venture in pickleball. Yesterday at 5 o'clock, I was playing pickleball till 6:30. At 7 o'clock, I ordered my rackets.
I knew it. I was about to say, by the end of next week, he'll have rackets, a net.
He'll
have all the equipment.
When I go in, I go in hard.
And we're going to see on Facebook Marketplace the kayaks.
No, I'm keeping the yaks. Dude, the yaks are the most amazing thing ever. But pickleball. So you want to talk about cardio. Pickleball is great for cardio. Dude, so like my legs.
Tony, give us a pickleball demonstration.
But pull up single pickleball. Like if you do the couples or teams or whatever.
I'm not playing pickleball by myself.
No, not single. But you play it with one other person, right? You can do teams, but teams is way too much, man. It's not as cool.
Yeah.
Where singles you're kind of still all over the place. Man, I had an incredible time.
Okay, so here's
so
some
what's
examples.
the difference between pickleball and tennis? It's just a smaller court.
It's midget tennis. It's a smaller court. It's kind of like a wiffle ball or waffle ball or whatever you call it.
So it's like a cross between tennis and badminton.
Yes,
that's exactly what it looks like.
That's in slow motion. Is it? But it's still a little slower than tennis.
It's pretty much the same speed, man.
3 fundamental rules: hit the ball. We serve rules.
We can move on.
We can move on. Rules.
This is the man.
I figured that was right up your alley.
Yeah, fuck no.
Homeless Mike will make sure we know the rules about pickleball before the week.
You can play pickleball.
Anyway, it does. I'm not opposed to it. I think it looks all right. I'd be more than happy to try it out.
It's fun. You can come play with me.
I've heard so many people talk about it, but
He's being nice.
I am being nice. I really don't want to play.
Nobody wants to play pickleball.
So what we do, and I don't know if y'all remember this from last time, but when we end the show, we give our final words, our final pitch to the audience, anything you want to leave with the people. And so y'all think about that for a second. I'm going to go to Tony Gump first, who always gets first honors. Tony Gump, final words.
All right, first honors. Eat or drink plenty of water, get meat, sunlight, and sleep in your diet. You'll have a fantastic life. Stay active. And pickleball actually looks pretty fun. I've seen some of the courts, and I just thought it was like a small mini tennis. But I might even try it out.
I'm not opposed to trying it either.
Fine, I'll try pickleball. If y'all want to do a couples thing, I guess we can.
Now, pickleball with John might be a different kind of thing. I don't know.
No.
Tony got one in. Good for you, Tony. Good for you.
Okay. So Tony Gump, eat, sleep, meat, sunlight, all that stuff.
Yes.
Homeless Mike, your final words.
I love John, even though he's rainbow. In final words, man. Don't rely on AI to create. Be creative yourself. Find that spot inside yourself and create. It'll be beautiful. Whether the public or anybody else likes it or not, you like what you create and embrace it.
There you go. Well, that's good. I like that. Kind of to the point. Bringing it around from where we started. That's good.
Nice.
Big John, final words.
Pride 2024.
ATL.
Which you got one in too.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, listen, I'm actually being serious when I say this. Be who you are. Don't be ashamed of who you are. I don't care if somebody accuses you of something that is untrue, then be a big enough man to not let that affect you, because you know that the thing they've accused you of is not that bad of a thing to be in the first place. It's just people that have small minds that can't wrap their head around what it is to be a human being nowadays. it's complicated. It's complicated to be a man. It's complicated to be a human on this earth in today's age. So do the best you can. Try to find happiness in everything that you do and live life to the fullest.
Kamala 2024.
God, man. This is strong final words.
Come on, Andrew, bring it home.
Oh, I don't do final words.
But if you are going to do
that's Andrew's final word. Hey now.
But if you are going to do the gay thing, when you go to the parade, just don't ride your bike naked around. That's
I'm wearing the yellow banana thong or
the Borat,
the banana hammock with the angel wings.
the Borat a banana hammock that comes over the shoulders. Y'all remember that?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
I got one.
All right, thank you guys for hanging out.
No,
love the man.
Thank you.
So
Can we do a toast before we get out of here?
I want to say something real quick. So me and John were talking, and we wanted to say, Andrew, we appreciate you and Tony letting us in this place.
Oh, absolutely.
And just saying what we had to say, and no matter what, man, roll Tide.
Oh, gross.
Well, honestly, it is so funny because I do worry. I don't know if you do. Like, what are we going to talk about sometimes? But then at the end of the day,
trust the process.
Trust the process, and we all go back so far that it's just hanging out with your buddies. And I love this, man. I love the atmosphere. I love this studio. I love Tony. This is a really cool place to be.
Tony, give us a homeless Mike's cam, and we'll all do a cheers right here. Let me see. We got to wait on Tony.
Oh, okay.
You could just come over here and cheers with us.
Okay.
Come on, Tony.
Cheers, ladies and gentlemen, to the Man Show.
Nice.
Cheers. There we go. That's a wrap, baby. We're out of here. And until next time, circus.